I've read over 100 self-help books in the past 6 years. Not because I was trying to level up my life, but instead because I was trying to save it. For over 7 years, I had anxiety and depression, and this led me into a very dark place, in which at the age of 15 I was pulled out of school and I was admitted to a psychiatric hospital for 4 years of my life. What was only supposed to be a 2-week admission turned into a 4-year nightmare, and finally at the age of 19 I got discharged into this community supported housing. So it's like where staff live in the community and you have to basically build up your life again from scratch. I hadn't been part of real society for so long, and it was even weird to go outside. I honestly felt like I was starting my life from the beginning. I lost my friends on the outside. I didn't have any qualifications because I didn't get to finish school, and I also had major social anxiety. But I remember when I came out and I hit 20 years old, something just snapped inside of me, and I was like, I cannot live like this anymore. I cannot continue to be controlled by my mind. I can't stay like this forever. I need to become somebody new. And so that's when I started reading books. I read books about anxiety. I read books about overcoming fear, books about emotions, books about the mind, books about how to change your thoughts, books about self-esteem, literally anything that I could find that would help me to change the mess of my life. And I don't say this to be dramatic, but I genuinely believe that books saved my life. I wouldn't be who I am today without everything that I learnt through reading. Because of books, I cured my social anxiety and I learnt how to manage my mental health. I built up healthy habits like exercise, eating well, meditation. I improved my confidence and my communication skills, and most importantly, I took back control of my life. And one of the biggest lessons that I have learnt in life is that there is always a solution to your problem if you want to find it. If you really want to change something, whether it's your weight, money issues, relationship problems, lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem, well, the solutions are out there. You just need to want to change, to find it, to learn it, and apply it. This is how I changed the trajectory of my future. I didn't let my past define me, but I seeked out new knowledge and solutions, and I took back control. Another reason I believe books are so important is because if we break it down, what really is a book? Apart from the obvious that it's, paper with writing on it, a book is just someone else's perspective in the world. Whether it's fiction or non-fiction, a book is just a glimpse into another person's mind. It gives us insight into their thoughts, their experiences, and their reality. And I believe most of us get stuck because we go through life unconsciously living within a very limited bubble. We grow up around the same people, shaped by the beliefs that were taught by our parents, friends, and teachers, and usually we end up following the same path that our friends or family or culture has laid out for us. Rarely do we question it, we just assume that this is how life is, because it's all we've ever known in the 4 small walls of our limited reality. But the truth is, we've not even experienced a fraction of what life has to offer. We often lack perspective and forget that there's 8 billion people in the world and we are just a tiny, tiny dot. Yet our egos convince us that the way we see everything is the truth. This is how life is. This is how the world works. There's not much else to life but this. And this is why I think reading is so important, because let's imagine that when you were born, you were wearing a pair of red tinted glasses. And everything that you see and look at is shaded in red, because your worldview is shaped by your upbringing. It's shaped by the people you're surrounded by, the environments you're in, and your experiences. And so red becomes all that you know. You don't even realize or question if there are other colors out there because you don't even know that they exist. Until one day you pick up a book and the person who's wrote it happens to be wearing green glasses. And as you read, you're struck by this realization of, what? This exists? I never knew the world could look like this, and suddenly your mind expands. Your perspective shifts and you begin to see and think differently. And now you don't just see red everywhere, but you start to see glimpses of green. And then you pick up another book, but this time the author has purple glasses. And again, you learn about new ideas, perspectives, and experiences that you didn't even know existed. And it continues. Then comes yellow, blue, pink, orange, and with every new voice you encounter and the more knowledge you gain, a new shade appears. And suddenly your once single-colored world starts to transform into a multi-shaded spectrum. You start to realize how little you know and how much life has to offer. The knowledge you gain has the power to challenge your beliefs, expand your horizons, and to reshape your reality. Instead of being stuck in your small reality wearing red-colored glasses your whole entire life, you gain the ability to see differently, to think differently, and to live life in a different way. Suddenly, you start to see opportunities where others see none. Your mind opens to new ways of thinking, new ways of creating, new ways of being, and you realize that there isn't one path to happiness or fulfillment, there are many. You feel inspired, and life becomes far bigger and richer and more colourful than you could have ever imagined. And I believe right now in the world, we're living in a crisis of disconnection. Countries fighting with each other, political rivalries, people online arguing with people they don't even know. Many people in my YouTube Shorts comments. We currently have a massive lack of empathy and lack of understanding for one another. Too many of us are stuck in our egos, confined in our small bubble of reality, looking at life through our red-tinted glasses and not even understanding or realizing all of the other colors out there. And so when we encounter someone who's wearing green glasses or purple glasses, our first instinct isn't curiosity, but it's judgment. We label them. Maybe it's their religion or their wealth class or their nationality. We convince ourselves that my way is the right way. My limited perspective is the truth. And so what happens? We stop learning. We stop listening. We start fighting each other. We close off our minds to reality and we become defensive and reactive. We get lost in the labels, lost in the ego, blinded by the fact that we are only able to see out of our red-tinted glasses. And we forget that we're all on the same team, going through the same human struggles. And this ties back to books, because books aren't just stories or information, but they're tools that help you to expand your perspective. They enable you to look at the world in a different way and remind you of how little you actually know and how much there is to learn. Just imagine if we lived in a world where everyone tried to see things from someone else's eyes. If we sought to understand and be curious instead of judge, how different our world would be and how many solutions we would be able to find. Books will help you to step outside of your tinted glasses and look at all of the other colors that exist. As Socrates the philosopher said, "All I know is that I know nothing." Personally, I've learned more about life from books than I ever did from the education system, from doctors, from therapists, from teachers. Books taught me that life is overflowing with opportunities and that I am never stuck in my situation. There is always a solution to your problem if you want to find it. Just think about it. We live in a world of 8 billion people. Do you honestly believe that you're the only one going through your struggles? Because I promise you, you're not. Somewhere out there, someone has gone through the same thing, overcome it, and left behind their lessons and wisdom in a book. And so if you're looking to start reading, here's a list of my top 10 self-help books. I can genuinely say that each one of these changed me, shaped the way that I think, and helped me to think about the world differently. I hope you go and read some more books. I promise you, you won't regret it. Or click here to learn 4 habits to cure your brain rot. And I hope this video helped you. All the best.